What's going on,
Yo,
man?
how you doing?
Good. What time is it in Australia right now?
10:30, Saturday morning.
And you're at the Colony headquarters, it looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah. I decided to come in and do some work today, so works out well.
Yeah, man. How much you been riding these days? I know you're running the company and you have a few other brands besides Colony. You've been riding a lot, or?
Yeah, yeah. I've been riding a fair bit lately, actually. Uh, yeah, pretty much try to ride like every sort of Thursday afternoon after work, leave a little bit earlier, and on the weekends, pretty much most days, Saturday and Sunday, I'm out in the backyard riding. So I pretty much only ride the backyard these days, just because, yeah, it's easy and it's what I like to ride. So and especially in recent times with all the quarantine stuff going on, it's worked out quite well. So yeah, no, I get on the bike as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you do have that backyard spine mini ramp, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Just
that was in my old house, and we moved to a new house about 2 years ago and transported it there and set it up, thinking, okay, we'll make it just the spine a little bit wider, but that'll do. That we won't do anything else. But since then, we're adding extra more stuff now and hips and all sorts of stuff, and there's more stuff to come. And just the other day, I was speaking to Patarico, and we're like, oh, we should make a box jump and a vert wall over there, and maybe we can do a hitching post here and this and that. So I can see it just evolving over the years and never actually really be finished. And it's just really cool to be able to make exactly what you want to ride and just make it happen, really. So a lot of hard work.
yeah, yeah, that's awesome. From what I've seen, it looks cool. That's cool that you're expanding on
Yeah,
it.
definitely. It'll, and we did sort of half-assed try some trails up the back too, which we will get around to again one day. We've got a set going now, but they've been untouched for a little while. Sort of the ramps are taking precedence right now, but yeah, eventually we'll get the trails going too. And as I get older, I guess it'll just flow through the trails and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been in the game a long time. Do you remember what year you turned pro?
Oh, well, I first got a BMX when I was 10, so that would make that 84. Discovered you could actually do flatland tricks in 88, was doing that. And then I guess I would have rode Australian pro comps, I guess. My first sort of one there would have been 92. Um, First trip to the States.
And that was Flatland, right?
Yeah, I started flatland. So I was one of the few riders back then, I guess, that back then you're either an 8 foot quarter pipe rider or you're a flatlander. And I was one of the few that
I
would
got you.
do both. I could, do all the flatland stuff and I'd ride a quarter pipe and maybe do a 540 or something. But yeah, and I guess I was one of the few then. And I guess my first pro comp in Australia would have been 92, would have been some flatland comps. And then 95 would have been my first trip to the States. Um, and then I guess 98 Oceanside BS comp. It was a B3 comp, I think it was, in
Yeah, with like
98.
DMC and all those guys were there.
What's that, sorry?
DMC and all those guys were there for that one, right? And Mira.
Yeah, Mira was there, Miron, Nyquist, all the big guns at the time were there. And I rode Stunt Boy and somehow won that, which I was really stoked. And that then
That's
allowed
awesome.
me, back then you had to win a comp or something to go pro after that. And so they allowed me to ride pro. And then I qualified sixth in pro, my first comp, and then ended up getting eighth in the final. But yeah, that blew me away. And yeah, haven't looked back since. Traveled a lot to
That's
Europe and
awesome.
stuff. So Europe's always good fun. So I guess, yeah. So 98 was my first pro comp.
So all the comps you rode in Europe, like the Worlds and stuff, is that kind of how you fell in line with We the People originally, being there from
Yeah.
Germany?
I went to the Worlds in 2000 in Cologne and just always seen they have mini ramp comp there. So I'm like, I'm going to this. So I went to there and at the time met Stefan Prantl, the owner of We the People at the time. And yeah, we just got along and whatnot, went to their offices or whatnot. And then just before the comp, he goes, oh, do you want to ride for We the People? And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And then
Wow.
he's like, yeah, do you want to distribute We the People for me in Australia? And I'm like, oh, look, I don't know how to do that or how I've been to do that, but I put them in touch with some people that did, and it just grew from there. And then 2001, I moved over to Germany and stayed there for a year, and yeah, got intertwined and just sort of really loving the European scene, and I moved back to Australia early 2002, but went back to Europe pretty much every year for a good month or two for probably 8 years there or so. And yeah, just with the people was a good thing for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So they wanted you to distribute that in Australia. It's pretty crazy. But now these days you got 3 brands and you distribute Colt on top of it, right?
Yeah, yeah, they wanted me to distribute it then, but I really didn't know anything about that. In hindsight now,
At the
I
time.
could have done it easily, but just a bit too young, I guess, at the time or whatnot. But yeah, and guess through that started Colony in 2005. At the time, there's obviously German brands, Spanish brands, Canadian brands, American, English. And at the time, a lot of Australian riders were doing well around the contest scene, and also doing video parts and just sort of putting Australia on the map. And I was like, we don't have an Australian brand, we need to fix that. And so I launched it, and it was just meant to be a small little parts brand because I was still riding for We the People at the time. And we came out with some pegs and whatever else, and stems and sprockets and so forth. And it was just meant to be a small little parts brand, but it blew up quite quickly, and everyone kept asking for frames and complete bikes, and sort of I realized the opportunity that was ahead of me here, and spoke to We the People about it and said, look, I need to probably take this to the next step now, and I think to do the right thing, I'll need to step down. And they were really cool about it. I had a signature frame with them at the time, and which was an honor for sure.
Yeah, for
Yeah, the
sure.
Miller Lite, and yeah, but just had to step away from that and sort of take that chance and go full ball with Colony. And here it is now, what's that, 15 years later, and going strong. We've started up family distribution, doing Colt here in Australia, and my own brand, other brand division. I've also got another brand called Colony BMX, which I have distributed by another third party here in Australia. But yeah, no, keeping it BMX for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember the first time I saw Colony parts, it was on Dave Fryman's bike, and it
Oh,
was after he left
yep,
McNeil. And this is right when you started. And I remember a bunch of people at our park were asking him all about the parts because, it was so
yep.
new. So was he one of the first riders on the team?
Yeah, he would have been the first overseas rider, yes. First rider was Ryan Gutler. Then there would have been Pete Redivo. There would have been Kenny Raggett, Nick Richardson. And then it probably would have been Frymouth, I'd say. He would be the first US rider that was on the team. I mean, Frymouth to me is God. So it's like, it's
Yeah,
Asado,
he's so good.
Dave Asado, and then, yeah, Jason Enns and Tobias Vicker. That's they're my sort of idol riders and so forth right there. So when Dave finished up with the McNeil, to be able to reach out and say, hey, do you want to ride for Colony? And for him to say yes was amazing to me at the time. So
I
and it
bet.
still is.
Yeah.
I've actually got one of his MVP frames, brand new, still sitting over there. So that's a bit of a treat there. Bit of a put it in the museum later on. So yeah, having Dave ride for it was amazing. And just recently hooked him up when he built up a new bike, sent him a frame and a bunch of other stuff as well. So he's still riding a Colony, which is an honor for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Tobias is he's on Colony now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because he was.
definitely. Again, I guess things finished up with him, with We the People, and it's more of a mates thing. I just wanted to, help out guys that I look up to and that I call friends as well too. So Tobias needed to get a new bike together, and so I floated him a bunch of stuff, and yeah, whenever he needs something, we'll get it to him. So it's just good to be able to help out the guys that you look up to like that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Speaking of Colony and Academy and division and yourself, what are your future plans on the horizon? I know the world's kind of at a standstill, but what can we look out for
Yeah,
from you guys?
yeah. I mean, division, we've launched a whole new range of bikes, which are doing really well. It's more that they're just available in Australia right now, but that will be launching out worldwide very soon. Academy stuff's getting out there. Academy and division, I've sort of restructured into being a bit more of an entry-level, affordable, complete bike range. Division will still make its high-end, street-orientated parts and so forth. So it's got a really good following, and it's done really well for us so far. So, and then, yeah, Colony, having the diverse team. I mean, we just dropped a park only sort of video just earlier this week, which is,
It was really good.
Thank you. No, I was stoked on it for sure. We were filming for about a year, and we wanted to keep filming, but then with the whole COVID stuff happening worldwide, we're like, well, who knows when we're going to be able to get to film. So let's just put out what we've got. And yeah, but absolutely stoked with it. And the guys did really well. Like they pretty much, I was the one that was lagging it up, to be honest. Everyone else had finished their filming. I sort of not taken it that seriously, I guess. And then it all sort of happened. We're like, oh crap, I just got to film this in my backyard now. So filmed as much as I could. I got hurt towards the end of filming, so I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. But yeah, the video turned out awesome. Chris James, Alex Heim, Pat, Zach, Jaden, everyone else, yeah, just killed it. It was really good. Cooper did an amazing job putting it together. And yeah, with Colony, just more of what we keep doing, having a diverse team, making sort of parts for everyone, and just doing what we do with our style.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, again, the web video was awesome. And just want to say thanks for jumping on this. And if there's anybody you want to shout out before we go, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, anyone that's ever bought a Colony part or watched a video of ours, checked out our Instagram, been down with anything that we do, much appreciated over all the years. All the team riders, past, present, and future, thanks for being a part of it all. And yeah, just anyone that's out there that's down with Colony, thank you. And yeah, keep the front brakes going.
Keep the front brakes going. Thanks. And everybody check out Colony's web video. You won't be disappointed. It's definitely a good one. Thanks again,
No worries.
Clint.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
See ya.